I think one of the key things that I got from the session today was really about trying to understand the academic world and how you translate some of the fantastic thinking that's going on in the academic world and how that translates into the practical world of business, in terms of the practical world of governance, in terms of the practical world in which unions and civil society operates.
It was a fairly comprehensive, multi-dimensional research that was done. And there were a lot of things which were incorporated because of the iterative process, and it has been a long, 5-year-long research which was going on.
There was a lot of great thinking about these various different labour standards and how they impact the broader sustainability environment. One of the discussions that we're having quite a lot at Ethical Trading Initiative is around how do the UN Guiding Principles on Business and Human Rights, how are they a global standard which all of those stakeholders that we've been talking about, how can they use this framework, how can they use this tool to really look at how you demonstrate change and real change for workers on the ground.
What I think is very interesting and can be further explored is this kind of question about domestic versus external pressure points in regulation, and what within the countries, within the domestic markets, within the domestic regulators, how can they influence regulation in global supply chains and global value chains versus the external partners, because I think there's often a lot of emphasis on what the lead firms externally can do, and I think with the rising powers, because of the changes in complexity of South-South, we also need to understand much better what are the domestic pressure points to change the way regulation is happening, and what's happening with these domestic firms in their domestic market, and how that is both influencing suppliers to the international market.
A research of this kind does tell you a few things on where to focus on, what to prioritize. And if I look at the study that we've been discussing in the last 2 days, it clearly tells you which areas to pick up, what kind of an effort to make on what type of issues, the magnitude, the proportion. It gives you a clear idea of all those things.
One of the key things that we took away is are labour standards still going to be relevant in the future? And in some respects they are, but in others they're not, in the sense that the environment in which they're trying to be applied is regularly changing. So I hope we can explore that much further.